Yeah.
Welcome to our program, Kitty Pals. So thank y'all for tuning in to our read-along session in our TSV. Mama, she is so happy today. She ate all her lunch. We had meatballs and mac. And so she ate all of that, and as I do, I get her mango peach for beverage and put a little water in it. She used the restroom. She watched 45 minutes of the Lost Village Spurt. So she had a movie. Today was like movie day. Remember the fourth Friday is movie time and free day. So she kind of really just had a warm day today. Alright, so first we're going to finish with the ABC Mouse weather and season. Remember, we're doing our questionnaire. So today, I apologize, y'all. I didn't want to do the survey. I did it when I first came, like a couple of months ago. I was like doing it and I got the little card or whatever. But I wasn't really, I really like questionnaire. So sometimes I'm not going to want to do surveys. I apologize for that. Sometimes I do. Like I did the one the other day. I think my employer asked me to do and like certain ones I do like for shopping or something like that. So thank you, Walmart. Y'all make it so easy for me to get all my items. So I always get up earlier and just go get that now before I come here because I don't have to get on another bus. So it's like I only just go around in a circle, go to Walmart, and then I'm right here. So I don't really have to skip buses. So I like that fact. So like I said, I got $100 worth of groceries today, y'all, and filled up, and I even got something to cook for Thanksgiving. So hope y'all have a good Thanksgiving coming up, which is my mother. Well, my mother was like a Thanksgiving baby. She was born, her birthday is coming up on the 26th. It's kind of, she was born on the same day Tina Turner was. It's so weird. And I kid you that she do remind me a lot of her, like in a lot of ways. My mother can be like similar. So therefore, we're going to get straight into it. So just kind of briefly giving y'all a little bit of heads up on that about the, I guess, y'all holiday y'all celebrate coming up. I do got something. I'm going to make a good dinner. So I say get a, like, something so we can have a good dinner next week for pertaining to that. Trying to make sure I go over everything first. So everything's been fine this week. Pretty much. So with court, we had court yesterday. So I'm also asking the courts if I can start home visits. From the time that we started, when I got out the hospital, like 2 weeks after I got out of hospital from being in the hospital for 3 weeks, going through my evaluation assessment, and it's crazy because that's actually is more sustainable in proof than it could ever be with me going through a private clinic or anything else. What's better than going through the hospital evaluation or assessment? So if they're okay with it and they release me, everything should be, like I said, fine. But like I told y'all, with the vision, they was trying to set it up for me not to even get through that. And y'all, they even called the police on me while I was in the hospital. That's how bad they have been persecuting me with a system or trying to instill some type of fear. But the way I navigate through this is because my gift allows me to see ahead things. So when I see things ahead, I'm able to get through that. So that's why I said it's a curse, but it's a blessing, because how can you defeat someone if you don't even know their moves? If you don't even know what they're doing in the spiritual realm? You'll never defeat the war that's going on in the physical if you don't know what's going on in the spiritual realm. I've always had premonitions. I always seen that their system was against me and me. I always kept getting stuff like that when I was pregnant with her and with the firstborn daughter. And my mother is proving in my firstborn daughter case that she would have been going through the same thing Shai is going through now if she didn't step in and been raising my daughter. See what I'm saying? Me and my mother are both proving that we're right. It would have still led to this eventually if he didn't get himself. Like, he has to understand the only support we had is my mother. And he understands that. So we're sharing my mother. We've been sharing my mother for a long time. So, he admits that some things that, like I said, he's walking, far as that woman law with me. So we're pretty good. He also proved like my native father is right. He knows he's right. You're not going to argue with you. I got a right father. Despite if y'all didn't like him or not, Mine's is right, y'all's is wrong. You don't see him going around persecuting people. He's gonna make sense when he talk. Like, that's just what it's always been. So that's just how it always been. So if a righteous son can walk in a mother's law, a daughter can walk in her righteous father's law. So that's why it takes me and my husband to bring the son and the daughter. So I'm representing the new covenant. As I said, he's representing the old covenant. So we each had a native parent. We each had a black parent. So we understand that we love both of them equally. And we do feel for the struggle of our black parents, but we also understand the wisdom of the spirit of our native parents. And that's what keeps us ahead, is the blessing that we got in the spiritual realm to see things ahead of time. So that's why I was able to navigate and not allow their provocations that the whites was doing, because it's been their sister persecuting me, and didn't let it get to me. Although some things they can be very provoking spirits and do things that's wrong. Even their own people can testify that they do that. And so the only reason why I was able to get through it is the only fact of my gift. I kid you not. I've seen it took a lot of people. If you're not able to understand what's coming, you're not going to be able to defeat it, because they would do all types of snares for you. So I was just proof that you can navigate through that. And it takes a lot of self-discipline, control at times, because they would do things. But like I said, if I'm able to see it, I'm able to navigate it. So that's how I end up getting out. And they kept trying to figure out how I was getting out of all these snares that they said to take my life. Ever since I gave birth to that first daughter. Like I said, it's been a war ever since me and him. It's like once we crossed paths, it was like, I don't know, it's because it was fulfilling something. But it's just been a war, y'all, with my just delivering my two daughters. Who would have known I would have been going through all of this just behind black daughters, giving birth to my new creation, my new life. And so it's kind of bittersweet, but I'm trusting. Like I said, I'm okay, and I'm comforting myself because I know I can get through it. As long as I can keep seeing it and knowing how to navigate through it, I'm okay with it. So that's, if y'all want to know, that's the secret to how I'm getting out of this stuff, escaping scare, because I have a spiritual gift. And like it says, it succeeds the wisdom of the flesh. Alright, so that's when I knew it was definitely, and just like my native sister, she testified to them killing her native fathers in Wyoming. She was testifying to, she said she kept having visions of a dove and ravens and all that. And I keep telling you, it's me. That's why you met me. I was like, that's what it was. You were supposed to help me. I'm your sister. And we had the same father, so that's what it was. That's why we both kept coming off the same way, but you couldn't understand because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, damn, my sister's black. I'm this. What's the difference between me and her? Our mothers. So, you know, I appreciate her, though, because if I never ran across her, I really would have known more about the war that was going on. So she absolutely is right. She been in a heavy warfare, too. She said they killed her father, the police. And they heated up, and that hurted her a lot. She said she went through things with her mom. She lined us the same thing that some of the things I went through too. So now he the one that's right. It's just, I don't know, he's the one that they keep on attacking his fatherhood. They don't want him to have children. Just like, you know, it was like supposed to be set on both of them being equally fair and allowed, but just seemed like his law only worked for himself. It don't work for other fathers and parents. So, yep, we're getting better though, y'all. So don't even worry about it. I just keep my head focused and not try to worry about all of that going on outside me. But like now that I'm in the future, now I'm like, okay, the same thing how they took away our native parents' rights is the same thing now we're gonna use to justify to say that why we don't belong inside of their households, why we as now need to raise our own children. Alright, so first of all, we're going to do weather and seasons, which we're going to complete a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what, this time I want to just do 3 blocks. So a 3-block questionnaire. A 3-block questionnaire. So would you rather go water skiing or downhill skiing? Water skiing. I think that would be better. They trying to figure out y'all how I survived it. And then that's another reason why I'll probably be different from my other black mother daughters because, again, my father is Native. So now you see that. So I'm not going to even agree with all black girls. So this sword is going to cut all ways, because then it's like, damn, she is us, but she not us. Yeah, I know, right? So not only did I have to face black girls and they stuff, then I had to face the things that they created. So black women have created many kids with different men, as you see. So I don't know why it's such a surprise to see my mixture occur. But again, I'm the one they forgot about. I'm the daughter that went fatherless. I went through the system. I went orphanage. I went through a lot of stuff because she was trying to keep me sacred from the other ones. So that's why you never hear about me. But now I'm coming forth and letting you know that how I survived it and why she had to hide me, and why I had to be raised with her people. So I never got to really been raised around my father's people. I would love to meet my Chicos from other little native tribes, like my other brothers and fathers, but however, there's a war going on with that, so I'm just staying out the mist. But I appreciate her for giving me life, but at the same time, I don't agree with everything my black mother has done toward me. So I can understand some of my sisters that of other fathers that's saying, hey man, this is what we were dealing with. But honestly, she ain't been that bad for me. Like I said, I think everybody get a different version of her as a mother depending on what father we have. So I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not against her, but I'm not for everything she do. So just say that I'm neutral about it. But anyway, so would you rather build a snow fork or a sand castle? Would you rather build a smoke car, a snow fork, or a sand castle? Oh, okay. That's like a cat meowing. Okay. How about I would say I would love to build a snow fork. That would be something kind of different. And that'd be different. Snow fork. So would you rather have an air conditioning or no heating? That's a good question, ain't it? So would you rather have a no air conditioning or heating? Air conditioner. So yes, he put blood in my waters. So my blood is my father's. He was Native, Blackfoot Native. And I walk in with a black woman, like I'm colored. You know what I'm saying? I got colored a little bit, but yeah. So he put blood in my waters. So I just always struggle, is the gift part of the blood or is part of my waters? That's the only thing I'm struggling with at times, because I don't know which one it came from. But I know it's true about I get things. Like, I've been getting things and I was Hey. A guru. A guru? A guru. Oh, okay. Can we get a hug? Just like your father will put some blood in my water. I don't know. But she's a sweet girl. Alright, so we're going to answer these questions, which is gratitude journal. 3 good things. So day 1. One good thing that happened to me today. So one good thing that happened to me today. Let's see. I got to see my daughter. So this is always a good thing, right? So I'm going to say I got to visit my daughter today. Something good that I saw someone do. So I seen someone when I was checking out at Walmart today. Stop, mama. Sit up. Getting tired, ain't you? When I was at Walmart today, my corn meal or my item dropped behind the register, and the customer, the lady, not the customer, but the employee, she came and helped the employees help me retrieve my product off the floor. So I think that was something good I saw them do today. today I had fun when what? So today I had fun when I was in TSV session with Shai. Alright, so day 2. Something I accomplished today. So I accomplished, I would say, I did some grocery shopping and attended my daughter's visitation. Something funny that happened today. My daughter laughing at scenes from the movie. Someone I was thankful for today. So I'm thankful for all the staffs that's here in the building that makes it possible for us all to reunite. So I am thankful for staff that makes it possible for us to reunite here. Alright, so I filled out that. So that's just something I really like to do. Yeah, so I got in the morning time, I'm going to go get my bike fixed. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm usually have it at the same place when I'm working, but I'm not sure somebody tried to flatten it or what, but I didn't see no holes in it. So I just think it's probably because I probably ran over something, but I'm going to get my little air on the bike on the side. But luckily, I can still walk, if anything, to work, so I'm not even sure about it. But I'm going to get the bike, my tire fixed tomorrow. So that's just something. So today I was thinking about Thanksgiving feasts that kind of go along with our theme. So it goes along with our theme right now. So because Thanksgiving, today's November 21st. And so within like 4 days or 5 days, it's going to have that. So probably holidays celebrated, promoted everywhere. So I just kind of go along with the theme. So guess what? We're going to do Thanksgiving feasts. Yes, Thanksgiving feasts. All right, so it was Clifford's first Thanksgiving. The Howards were going to visit Emily Elizabeth's grandmother. We better get moving or we'll miss our train, said Mr. Howard. It's really starting to snow out there. I'm almost ready, Dad, replied Emily Elizabeth. I just have to find Clifford, and I just have to find my stuffing, added Miss Howard. Where did I put it down? Miss Howard looked out the window. You're right about the snow, she said. We better bundle up. Here's your coat, Emily Elizabeth. Yes, it's a puppy. Oh, good job. You know how to identify your puppies. And here your stuffing, said Elizabeth or Emily Elizabeth with a laugh. So Mr. Howard laughed too. And they're Clifford, right? And here's Clifford, he said. At the train station, Mr. Howard hopped out of the taxi. Hurry, everyone, he called. I'll get the luggage. Emily Elizabeth, I'll carry Daffy or Daffy. Yeah, that's a car. That's the taxi, said Mr. Howard. You better carry Clifford. We wouldn't want to lose him in all of the snow. And that's Puppy. So in the back of the taxi, Clifford barked. I almost forgot my stuffing, cried Mr. Howard. Thank you, Clifford. Good job, boy, said Emily Elizabeth. She picked up Clifford and zipped him into her coat. The Howards hurried across the station toward the ticket counter. Emily Elizabeth spotted Nina, her parents, and George walking by. Clifford barked happily and jumped out of Emily Elizabeth's arms to say hello. So Nina called Emily Elizabeth, "What are you doing here?" "We're on our way to a family reunion," said Nina. "We get together every Thanksgiving. Everyone brings a different dish and we all share stories." So in my mother family tradition, she usually go to Rabel with her family, and like everybody will meet up there and like do, like my mother family, yeah, they're always closer. Like they always did things like that around holidays and celebrate all of that and religious things. They're always part of doing this stuff like that. It was fun. We usually go there, a whole bunch of food, absolutely wonderful. So like I said, I can give the good advantages for us growing up in a black culture, because remember, my mother being a black woman, I was already taken away from birth. Like my father never had his rights like from birth. That's what we're fighting. Like, so I had to grow up with a black culture family just because my mother was. So that's what disconnected me from the other roots. And now that I'm testifying and got older, and why I fought this identity, and that's why I'm trying to tell you who's right and who's wrong. So growing up inside a black culture, you know, I seen some things, understood some things. So off top, they label you sometimes who your mother is. So we had to go through all of this. So raised under that culture, I could give you the ins and outs of it. So yeah, they always did like things like that. Like my husband, he grew up too. He got taken inside of the blacks too. So like I said, it's the native parents lost their birthrights, or I would say lost their parental rights to black. We were coming from natives into black households. They taught it differently. So that's what happened to us. So we got lost inside our identity that way. Because again, my native fathers could not fight for me because most of them died in the war. So, just like some of his native mothers died in the war. So, there were some dark men that said, hey, we'll just take them inside our house. So, the blacks kind of basically took us in, and we kind of been like orphan kid going through there, like, hey. So, we never was really raised under whites or even natives, but we're just saying, like, now we understand their warlike. And we apologize for the confusion, but we're just trying to straighten everything out. Say, we're just trying to straighten things out. Right? You see why we trying to straighten things out. So that's why he had a hard time and he had to go through prison. I had a hard time being a rebellion, had to go through things because we against one of our parents. We always been. We're fighting our own parents for our own rights to our children now. So my mom always brought her famous tamales, right? Said Nina. George licked his lips. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He loved those tamales. Yeah. So I love to get your tamales recipe sometimes, said Miss Howard. I'll be happy to share it with you, replied Nina's mother. Mr. Howard looked at his watch, but first we have to get our tickets. We're running late. We got to get our tickets. We're running late. You're in luck, folks, said the man at the ticket counter. These are the last 3 tickets on the eastbound train. Oh, yeah. Clifford peeked out of Emily Elizabeth's jacket. Oh, excuse me, said the ticket man. Do you need our 4 tickets? Emily Elizabeth smiled. Clifford and I will be sharing a seat. Sharing is what Thanksgiving is all about, replied the ticket man. Yeah, you did good. You copying mommy. Like, I want to get out there. So as Emily Elizabeth and her parents rushed toward their train, they heard a familiar voice calling to them. Hello, Howard family. Wait, Dad, it's Mr. Solomon, cried Emily Elizabeth. Are you visiting a family too? Asked Miss Howard. I sure am, replied Mr. Solomon, and I'm going to see my sister. And Flo and Zoe gets to visit her turtles, Rico and Rena. This year, I'm bringing my specialty homemade cornbread. It smells delicious, said Mr. Howard. Hey, what are you doing? Put that back in there. At least you're going to read that. Shakai's reading a little bit. So the Howards hurried onto the platform as the conductor called out, "All aboard. That's our train," said Emily Elizabeth. "It looks like we made it just in time." The ticket man closed the train door. "Sorry, folks," he said. "You won't be getting gone today. But you just sold us tickets," Mr. Howard said. "Remember, 3 people and 1 small red puppy." "Oh, I remember," said the ticket man, "but no one's going anywhere today. The tracks are snowed under and won't be clear until the morning." "Oh no," cried Emily Elizabeth. "It's Clifford's first Thanksgiving and it's ruined." Nope. Pay attention. It's read along session. Do you want to color you some more? Yeah. So, it's Clifford's first Thanksgiving and it's ruined. "Don't worry, sweetheart," said Miss Howard. "We'll call Grandma and Grandpa and explain. We can still have a nice Thanksgiving at home." The ticket man shook his head. "More bad news, folks. The snow closed all the roads, too, at least for the next few hours. So we can't get home either." Emily Elizabeth said sadly. "It's okay, honey," said Mr. Howard. "At least we're all here together." The Howards settled down in the station cafeteria to wait out the storm. "Room for one more?" asked Mr. Solomon. Nina's family was close behind him. "How about 3 more and 1 hungry dog?" "Of course," everyone replied. Miss Howard, "Here, I am sure I can find some treats for some hungry animals." She reached into her bag and put some treats in front of Clifford and George. They pushed some over to share with Defali and Flo and Zoe. Seeing the animals share their treats gave Emily Elizabeth a great idea. "Hey everyone," she said, "let's share a Thanksgiving feast right here." "Yeah. We have stuffing, cornbread, tamales, and a turkey," added the ticket man. "And yes, I bought a good turkey to cook for Thanksgiving. Mac and cheese, macaroni, and cornbread we're going to have. I wish you could come over. Or they can, that you can share with it with Mom." Everyone looked at the ticket man with such surprise that he laughed. "I was supposed to take this turkey to a friend's house in the city when I got off of work, but the snow stopped that." Right? There's plenty to go around, so the snow stopped that, but there's plenty to go around. "Come one, come all," said Mr. Howard. "This is what Thanksgiving is all about." And so, Emily Elizabeth, "I know Clifford's first Thanksgiving didn't turn out like you hoped," said Mrs. Howard. "It's even better," said Emily Elizabeth. "Now Clifford will remember the true meaning of Thanksgiving, sharing with friends and families and being thankful for all you had." Clifford barked, wagging his tail. "You're welcome, Clifford," said Emily Elizabeth. "Happy Thanksgiving." Yeah. Doing this. So basically, oh yeah, I forgot I had cut off myself. But yeah, so I've been coming here since May the 27th or 28th. I think it's the 27th, 2 weeks after I got out of the hospital. And I've been consistent. I've had perfect attendance. So if you count that to the day today, because she's been in the system since February 21st. Today is the 21st day. So from February, let's see, February, what's on the calendar? So February, we're going to start with March is 1 month. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that's 9 months of consistency. I never missed a court date. I've been on time for them for this 9 months. I've never missed a visitation. So I think I have earned my right for the courts to hear and to grant me home visitations. It's not costly coming here, but it's time consuming. Also, when we talked over me and her father last night, like I told him, we only get 2 off days, and your off days are going to vary from my off days. My thing is, they can give you more time, but them trying to argue, I think it's very chaotic to try to argue extra days. Like, he has to work at some point. We can't do that. Only when she comes back full time, that's a benefit for us, because we'll have her at any time, and we're just going to be working, from each other's schedule. So that's not the problem. And I hate when him and them, it seems like they're trying to make a problem. Because again, I'm not lazy. I'm not going to make excuses to why, to get out of work or get out of what I need to do. And it just seemed like that's what they love to do. So this is why I'm trying to say y'all need to put it in order. The only thing that makes sense is to do it like y'all done me. You can give him extra hours on one day until she comes back to us, or you can give us home visitations where we both can do it together for 3 hours. That's the only thing that makes sense. That way we can still have our off days to get rest, and we still will be in compliance to what we need to do to keep her shelter and her expenses and the little things she needs and things going for us and ourselves and her. So that was just totally, I don't know what she was doing when she brought that up, but I just think that was crazy. And for him to try to argue, well, she just trying to give us more. No, you don't need more days. We don't need more days. That'll be interfering with our work schedule. No, they just need to give you more hours. I'd rather somebody extend my hours in a day than to give me an extra day of hours, because again, I got things to do. And you do too. So we don't need that interfering, because we know we have to keep the other part. That's the key to what I'm trying to say. I'm already balanced though. I shouldn't have to explain these things, but for some people they're not as balanced as me, so it gets them, they don't know how to operate to keep the financial, emotional, and mentally things stable. You can be stable in all those areas with wisdom, but if you're not understanding wisdom, you're not listening to me, then you're going to be off balance in one area or another. So you have to learn to find it, and he can if he listens. So he was like, all right, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so he knows I'm better at with money. I always been better at managing that for us, so there's nothing there. He knows I ain't never ran off with his money. I ain't never ran off with doing things and stealing from him. I don't do those things. Like when we got into it in Georgia and I had saved $1,300 for him. Of course, I wasn't working. It was all his money, but I saved the money. If it wasn't for my mind, you still wouldn't have nothing. So when we had got into it, I was like, hey, look, let's just split it, and I go my way and you go your way. This is before she came and was ever conceded. But he was like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm done with this place anyway. So I just think it was just the culture, like the things that were going on around there. Like I say, women have been in the midst. For some reason, he keeps attracting. It's like it's attraction to like unhealed women that is so attracted to him. Like it's only been them in the midst. Like one of them pulled the gun out on me when I was in an apartment in Alabama. One of them tried to fight me that was the next door. Now I'm talking about out of nowhere. These went one at his job wanted to cuss me. I was like, what is going on with all these women in the pathway? I'm like, I ain't doing that. He's like, I'm like, what are you telling them? What are you? It's like, I don't know. I'm not doing nothing to them. I'm keeping boundaries. They're just overstepping their boundaries. So he was upset. He even called police. He was like, I need to come get her before I knock her out. Like, yeah, the girl tried to stab him while my baby was in his hand. So that's when I was like, yeah, maybe I do need to go get a weapon. So, but when I realized that they were just trying to use it, because I was like, I really don't need a weapon to protect myself. But I just went on and got one because I thought, yeah, I definitely been a victim of seeing that. So God forbid that to happen ever again. But, I'm not claiming everybody's the same. But, yeah, so like I said, I never do that to somebody. He knows I'm still fair, even when I'm angry at him and I disagree with people. I'm still fair, and I'll still try to work and be fair through it and try to find some understanding about it, even though I don't have to. I could be low down dirty and say, I don't care. And I could have ran off sure he'd already witnessed probably girls. Well, with his money and never said nothing again. Or I could have done it while he was in jail. There's many times where I had the upper hand to really like just deal wicked and evil, but that's not in my heart to do that. It's not my heart to leave or wanted to like do that to anybody, because I know how that feels to be done too. So I try not to do those things. So yeah, so basically we really want the home visits. It kind of straight up time for me coming here and him. And then also I feel like it'll be more comfortable for her. It'll be more comfortable setting for her, and I can actually like, we can actually like cuddle, watch the movies, or we can kind of walk outside. We can go down the, you know, street to get something to eat. Like, you know, I think it gives me a little bit, but I think I have earned my right and my integrity and like just keeping up and doing what I need to do. I think I actually have earned my right at least now 9 months to say, okay, yeah, we could go forward with giving her home visitations. I think that's cool. Even if it's like the supervisor sitting in the lobby or the caseworker or anybody, you know what I'm saying, or whatever they were in, and just like, okay, or going with us if they want to do a starting off supervisor where we have someone in our home or they walking with us if we go outside. You know, I'm okay with all of that like we do in the building here. But I'm not okay with now just like being stuck at this point. And like I said, when we do home visit, I would like us to have 4 hours together. Like with the father gets it a day where me and him both are off. And now we, you know, something like that, and we can have time, because he made that clear from the first beginning. He was like, yeah, we're married. We're legally married. And this is our only child that we had already married. Shakaya pushed us to get married, but we were going to marry her. Yeah. Finger. So this is our only child that we've had in our covenant so far. So yeah, our first daughter moved us toward it. So yeah, she's still part of it. But I'm just saying, we already was married with her. So we had a right to lay down and have sex. So if anybody trying to argue that, we're not, you know, fornication. So it don't make sense for us to be going through this and everybody else that's not even married being able to participate in living together, cohabitation, or having kids. But we're married and we're doing it, and y'all still not. So it doesn't make sense, other than we're doing something that people probably lost a long time ago and don't want to do, and it stand for something right behind our children and defeating this curse that was placed upon us. Okay, so yeah, so that's what I just want to stick to with the next argument, that we need to be able to move forward to our home visitations. Also, I don't agree with them trying to take their father rights. It doesn't matter if they disagree with who she came from or the fathers. It doesn't matter. That's not their problem to worry about why she doesn't have a white father or why I didn't have a white father. That's not for him to be worried about and persecuting us with. That's their fathers. We chose what we chose, and they need to accept it and stop trying to keep switching children and taking our children and putting them in bondage or like systematic. So we're trying to fight this as rightful parents, but it seems like they only want to give white parents in this world parental rights. And I disagree with that. White parents should not be the only parents that have parental rights. I'm fighting for my native parents and my black parents who have their parental rights over their seed. What comes from their wombs. There's no way this should be happening to them. If we have a fair law, if they be claiming we are one nation and we respect people's identity, you talk a good game, but they going to have to walk it now. If you saying that, then they need to live by it. Why are we still going through this in this year or whatever year they want to say, 2025? Why are we still going through this? So no, it's time to break these chains. It's time for us to rise against all of this and just say, like, look, this is a deception that occurred, and we need y'all to wake up. This is our future of our children's lives on the line. And whatever left that God has blessed us with to give life, we need to protect that now. And not continue to just create, but protect what's already has been given and have been birthed now. So Generation Alpha. This is the last breed. There's gonna be no more children out of this. This is the last breed. Ain't that's right? She just so sassy. You're sassy. Good job. She is like, I'm thirsty now. So that's all we're gonna say with the courts for my defense, and that's what I was trying to get him to see. But again, they gave me a white man attorney, and it seemed like he's a public defender, so it's not like I don't think he really cared about what's going on. I think you did a lot better with trying to say something in court yesterday, but you're still not saying it and actually representing me how I want to be represented and actually getting the points clear. So I just feel like it's a stumbling block. I feel like they're all in cohabs together, and now they can fight in their own system against each other. We're out of it. We're just trying to say, hey, we want to go forward with this. And we're asking for $1.2 million for a lawsuit for the past 4 years. Let me see. No, my daughter's 6. So the firstborn daughter's 6, because I'm going to go all the way back to her conception. So this has begun. So for the last 6 years, I won $1.2 million a lawsuit for all of these things that I've been going through, from the hospital to the police department to strangers to the system to organizations. It's been one struggle. I just struggled. This girl ain't never lied yet. She showed me in my womb. I could not believe. I didn't understand, why would a police force or white men be against me? I kid you not. It kept showing me their faces. And sometimes it shoot me black girl face. Like, it just kept showing it's a spirit that was against me. I just couldn't believe it until it came flesh and physical. And now we're here at this moment, and they can't deny that we're here at this moment. And the reality, yeah, that's definitely what they did. They were hoping that I was going to move wrong or do something for them to do that. And I could not believe that's how much women had been going through just to birth their children here. And I'm like, goddamn well, I ain't got no bad intentions or trying to do nothing to nobody. So, but I talked to my husband about it, and I appreciate him for standing for something right, trying to do something. But yeah, that's the only way that I feel like we can move forward, and I would feel more comfortable, and I feel like they'll be more comfortable. Everybody can kind of get what they want. And so let's just marinate on that and start there. I think that's where we need to start there in the next. So we're supposed to be taking it to trial. But like I said, and another thing about the housing situation, this is New York, okay? This is not another state. We're dealing with New York. That's the reason why I'm in an extended stay. That's why it's called extended stay. That's why we didn't go get a regular hotel. We got something, and we pay for that. We pay more than the average renter or the average person for rent right now. So we earn our respect. We're paying way more than other people. So we earn our respect to live, because we're putting in that money to live. So we're good. So we're contributing to society. We're putting it out there. We're investing into this, right? So my thing is, that's the whole purpose to why we did. So make sure we got everything we need accommodated, because that's the only way we could. And that's why we're staying long term. So that's the reason why we said, you know what, so they can't argue that in court is that. So that's why we're coming out of our pockets, working extra harder and doing that, so we know we can afford. So that way it covers everything. So I don't mind paying more. I'm not a cheap person. We don't mind doing it if it makes sure we get all the sentence that we need, and and somewhere we could be like, while we're waiting on to see where we want to stay at. First, we got to understand background. We got to have credit, and then you have to have a security deposit. You got to do all this. And like she said, I don't want to go to no system. You call these places, you call these organizations for help. They don't answer the phone. They don't call back. And oftentimes they try to mock you for coming to get help. I don't need all of that in my way. We can pay our way. People just get out of. We don't need all of that. They want somebody to be begging them in their organization for a hand. That's not happening. Y'all not going to have me under no idol trying to beg y'all for some help. I can work to pay for a security deposit. I can work to pay for where I need to stay. So first of all, you got to find an area that we would like, because we're not going to live amongst anybody. So we're not going to rush inside a lease. We learned our lessons in Texas and Alabama about that. We rushed into a lease and we broke both of them beforehand. We did. It was like a month or two before it went out, but we did. And I'm not trying to break no more leases. I've never been evicted. I own my home in Louisiana, so I never been evicted, and I did break leases, because again, I'm not gonna stay still somewhere if it's like I said, started getting drug, then violence and all of that. I couldn't live around it. And I didn't want my kids. But we accepted what we accepted because it was affordable. But like he said, he agreeing with me now, like, we ain't going to do that no more. That's what messed us up. So we're taking a time to find out where we want to live at, and if we're going to have, if our jobs can afford it, and if it can or can. So, or do we need to switch and find jobs to afford where we want to live at? So all of this is a thought process. It's not overnight. So, and this is New York, so it's not overnight. And then you have to deal with prejudice and different rules and policies in certain areas. Then we got to learn the culture because we're not friends. So it's a lot to take in, and it ain't gonna happen in no 9 months and shit, and it ain't gonna happen in no years. So right now, but what they can do is still allow me to have more time at where I'm at and have home visitations. They can do that at least. But trying to argue something of, oh, we need to wait till you get something that's in our eye to say it's no, that is housing. That is enough. That's housing. Anything in the government agree and everybody else would agree, that's housing. There's nothing else you can argue. You want to argue we wasn't in a tent? We're not in a tent. We're not on the street. So everything should be fine. But they're not going, we don't make what other people make. So you can't force us to be in a situation. So it takes time for us to get to those levels again, especially out there where we're coming from. So I just want y'all to know that. Take that in. So and also she just can start with the mental illness stuff. She's not gonna win that war either, because the judge do not have the power of the doctor. The police officers do not have the power of the judge. In the discussion, everybody has their set apart position to play. Nobody can cross the lines of those boundaries. That's just end the discussion. So y'all have a wonderful day, and we're gonna tune out.